Here's a continuation of the CB160 story. This is the bike that I taught my daughter to ride on a couple of years ago. Still has a 21-inch front wheel off of it. I took the front forks off and cleaned them up. And doing a lot of work on the engine and the rear end. Put some extensions on the rear shocks just to raise them up a little bit. Probably would have been a lot cheaper to buy new shocks than to weld these suckers up. But they work pretty well. Took the front and rear wheels off and cleaned them up a little bit. So there's the rear wheel with a trials tire on it, and there's the front wheel that I'm really not going to be using for anything. Just put it aside, and eventually I'll build a little calf racer with another CB160. It's really a pretty front wheel. Anyway, that's the basic bike. The gas tank is shot. The inside is so rusty. I tried cleaning it out and using one of those kits, and it just was too bad to make it work, so I'm going to cut it open and look for a new tank and see if I can clean it the hard way. There's the engine. There's the jugs right there. Cleaned up. I didn't bother taking them to a shop and having them bored out. I did get some new pistons though. It took a while to find them. And I had to get a full set of rings from Thailand. It's hard to find a full set of rings in standard size. Here's the engine itself. Pulled the head off, and the jugs off, and the specs on the play on the connecting rods seem pretty good. So I think that end's going to stay tight, and I'm ready to check the end gap out on the rings and at least put the jugs back together. The cylinder head, the valves were pretty well shot. There was a lot of rust in there, so I took it to a machine shop, a place called Island Racing in South Hero, Vermont. It's one of the few machine shops around anymore, and they did valve grinding and lapped in the new valves for me, and I was really happy with the work they did. I just got the head back the other day, and I made this device out of my drill press to be able to put the put the valve springs back in. And it takes two hands to use it. I really can't do one hand with the camera and the other hand with this, but anyway, it's using my drill press to compress the valve springs. Worked pretty good. Worked pretty good. So that'll be assembled, put the cam back in. I had to replace one cam follower and button everything up. I'm just waiting for a manual to come in, because the original Honda shop manual has no torque specifications on it, and I don't know, kind of old school maybe. I want to make sure the torque specs are right for putting this thing back together. And as always, there's my dog, and there's the Spitfire, and that's Odie, who's a good boy. Aren't you, big guy? Yeah, you're a good boy. Okay, that's it for today. I'll see you later, folks.